What's good, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about ChatGPT, and I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a explainer on how it works and show you some examples. And next up, I'm going to create some videos that are also going to explain more of how you can make money with it. So I'm going to mostly be talking about how you can use it for business and making money and stuff like that. But I wanted to do this video just to explain to you and show you kind of how it works so you can get a feel for it before we start getting into all the fun stuff. Now, at this point in time, almost everybody or a lot of people should know what ChatGPT is because a lot of people have been talking about it. If not, if you haven't heard of it, I don't know, where you've been. If this is your first time hearing about ChatGPT, let me know down in the comments. But basically, it is a language software that actually, learns from the interactions that it has, I believe. And it's based off what I believe is called a language model, which basically it can create its own communications with you, and it can create unique interactions in the information that it's able to give to you. And the whole idea of it is for it to talk to you like a human and give you back more human responses, and for you to be able to communicate with it to get information and answers that you need. And it's all based off of a database from 2021, so it does not go online and search for information, so it won't have any new information beyond 2021 and prior. So a lot of people think that this is something that can, kill Google or something like that, but it's really not the same thing. And we're gonna go over examples of that as well. But as you can see here, the company that owns ChatGPT is OpenAI, and you can see here that our mission is to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. So of course they're trying to make this work in a way that benefits humans, and that's why it communicates in a human way. Now, this was released in, I believe, November 30th of 2022. And since then, it's been all the rage going on the internet since people have become aware of it and what it can do. Now, if you don't have access to this, you do want to go ahead and get access to this. And you also want to try to use it at, peak times of the day, I guess you would say, because I have seen where I tried to log into it and you're unable to get into it if a lot of people are using it at the same time. Usually in the evening time, after people are getting off of work, people are getting out of school, that's when I've seen most of that happen. But you would click up here and you would go ahead and set up your account if you don't already have it. As you can see, I already do have it. They'll ask you for your email, they'll ask you for your phone number to verify you, and they'll send you a code, and after you enter that, you'll get access, I believe. So basically it's just that simple. A few pieces of information, then you get access to do this and use the capabilities that it has. Now, I wanted to give an example of going to actual, Google and typing in something. You would go in, you would type in something. In this example, I use most profitable passive income businesses. So as you can see, when you do this, you actually end up getting, a bunch of different responses, different articles that you can look at, different websites with web pages and information on what they feel is the most profitable passive income businesses that a person can have. But it's all based off of these websites' individual opinions, of the writer or whoever it was that created the actual article or the blog post. So what we can do, if we do this inside of ChatGPT, what we can do is come and put that same question in here, and I'm going to show you guys some prompts that you can use, because understanding how to ask this particular program questions is what's going to get you the most benefit from it. Because the only limitations, really, there are some other limitations, but the main limitations that you're going to see with this is going to be the type of responses that it gives are going to be limited to the questions that you know how to ask. So understanding how to best ask this program questions is what's going to get you the best results. So again, right now we're going to put most profitable passive income businesses so you can see how this thing works. So after we hit enter on that, you can see it has the question there and it's coming up with an answer for us. So instead of having all of those different articles like what we found on Google, which can be more up to date because of course it's on the internet, this is going off of a database, a very large database of information that it's pulling this information from. So it's giving us more so in one place exactly what we want to see based off of all of the information that has been out there, at least from 2021 on back. And now you can see we actually have a response from it, and it says, some examples of passive income businesses that can be profitable include rental properties, investing in dividend paying stocks, creating and selling online course or ebook, investing in a peer-to-peer lending platform, building a dropshipping business, creating a YouTube channel or podcast. So it gave us 6 options here, right? And gave us a little bit of extra information with it too. But basically, instead of me having to go here and look through all of these different things and seeing which ones might be the best ones, it's pulling information from a whole bunch of different places and putting it all in one, which is one of the benefits of it. And now we're going to talk about some of the prompts that you can put in there to actually get a little bit more from what you're trying to research. Now, of course, you can use this for research purposes to get information. You can use this to create things for you. One of the more unique things that I have seen, and I don't know how to do this myself fully yet, but I will be experimenting with it, is you can use this to create code. You can ask it to create code to do a certain thing, and it can actually create a script for you that you can use to create a software, even a plugin like a Chrome extension or something like that. So it can really be useful in regards to making money. But basically, we're going to use some prompts that can help make this a little bit more useful to us. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you are actually using certain parameters in what you're asking it for. So let's say, well, first off, it's giving me this information. So I can tell this to actually give me more information on this particular topic or on any of the particular ones. So for example, I'm going to say, tell me more about point number 1. And as you can see, it identified that I was talking about rental properties. And as you can see, this is doing it in a very conversational style. I didn't have to, make something crazy up to ask it, or ask it something in a robotic way. I just said, tell me more about point number 1, and it automatically knew what I was talking about, and it is elaborating and giving me more information about point number 1, which was rental properties. And you can see here it says rental properties can be a great way to generate passive income. The basic concept is to purchase one or more properties and rent them out to tenants. As a property owner, you collect rent from the tenants, which can provide a steady stream of income. So again, it remembers why I was asking the question about, passive income to try to get ideas on how to make it. So it's relating what my last question was about, telling me more to this point that I wanted and giving me the information that I wanted as a result of that. Now, I can also tell this, give it another prompt to actually give me a certain length of a result. Let's say I want to write a blog post about rental properties. So I'm going to tell it to write a 200-word blog post on this topic. So now, again, it knew that I was still talking about rental properties, so it's continuing on to write a blog post for me about this topic. And it's gonna eventually, of course, be at the 200 words, but you can see how amazing this is that it's able to do this for you. And again, I'm gonna give you some more prompts that you can put in this to maximize what you're able to get from it, but also there's going to be a few caveats that you need to know about when you're using this as well. Okay, so now it has actually completed that 200-word blog post right here. I'm not going to go ahead and count all of these words, of course, but this is definitely about 200 words, and you can see it did it all on its own for me without me having to do the work. So now another thing that you can do with the information that it spits out to you is you can ask it to put it in a certain style. So I'll just say, rewrite this in a funny tone. Okay, and now it's gonna rewrite everything that it just wrote in a more funny tone. And let's see if this sounds funny. Are you tired of working a 9-to-5 and living paycheck to paycheck? Well, have no fear, because rental properties are here. There goes the humor already. With rental properties, you can say goodbye to your boring desk job and hello to a life of passive income, where you can sit back, relax, and watch the rent roll in. Literally, the rent roll. You get it? So there are several types of properties to choose from. So basically, you can see that they inserted some humor in there. And I can also ask it to write in the style of Ryan Reynolds, or Dave Chappelle, or maybe Tony Robbins, or maybe a high school professor. So I can ask it to talk in a certain language, or the way that a certain figure or a person of a certain position, the way that they might write something like this, I can actually ask it to do that for me. Now, another thing that I can ask this to do is to give me an outline. So let's say there's a book that I want to read, but I maybe don't have the time to read it, or I want to see if I really want to read it and I want to check out the outline of that book. In business, you should always be reading books. And I would also say not just reading them, make sure that you're applying the information in it, which is something most people don't do. They read a lot of books and they don't apply anything. But basically, if you want to get an outline for a book, let's say outline the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So now it's giving me an outline on that book. You can see got the title there, the author, and it's giving me the main points of the book, because of course it's 7 main points in the book, so it should come up with about 7 by the time it's done. Okay, so now it's finished. You can see that it gave us, a little intro, gave us the 7 main points of the book, and also gave us a little outro here too. So basically, this is a good way to do research, to get information, and to have it to create things for you. Now, another thing that you want to know is right now within this thread, this is what's called a conversation, basically, or a specific chat thread that I'm having about this topic, usually is what it's going to be. But you can continue to ask it questions and it can kind of build off of what you're talking about. But of course, you will go over here if you wanted to start a new chat or a new thread of information that you want to learn about or continue to research. So just know that you can do that over here. But basically, you can see how easy this is used, and hopefully you're getting some ideas of how this can benefit you, because as a business owner, basically you can use this to save yourself a ton of time. Probably half of your time can be given back to you by what this can do. And of course, like I said in the next video, now if this has been mind-blowing to you as far as what this can do for you, tell me about that in the comments. Tell me about what part of this you're most excited about trying to use down in the comments. And if you want to make sure that you're able to see all of the things that I do with this, because I'm thinking I could try to see how AI fares up against personally written content like an ebook or a course or something like that, and compare the two, see how AI driven completely Facebook ads maybe, or YouTube scripts, how all of that stuff can work compared to what you would do personally. So if you want to make sure that you see all of those future videos that I make around this, then make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you'll be notified anytime I drop another video just like this. On this channel, I try to help businesses scale their income up to 10K and beyond using affiliate marketing and other tips, tricks, and strategies. So of course, if you want to hear more information like that as well, make sure you subscribe to the channel too. Now, I did tell you that there are some caveats to this information, and one of the main things that you want to keep in mind when it comes to this AI written content, you want to make sure that you do kind of fact check some things and put your personal touch on some things as well. If you're already an expert in your field, and you're using this in your business, of course, you can already kind of tell things that might be a little bit off, or things that you might want to tweak a little bit here and there. So make sure that you're keeping that in mind as you're using this for different purposes within your business. And right now, I want you to go ahead and go to this next video so that you can learn how to come up with the best business ideas using ChatGPT.